38 Herblore coming in just as we're making some energy potions to make our one small favour quest go that little bit faster. Here we have the start of our one small favour quest. I've actually just relogged and set up the timer there to appear on our report button down the bottom, so keep an eye on that for later on. Let's see how long this quest takes. I'm not going to, I don't have optimal teleports all across the game, so I'm not going to be setting any land speed records here, but hopefully it doesn't take too long. If we can get sub 1 hour, I think I'll be happy. So let's see how we go. Is stodgy a word that's used commonly in the US vernacular? I know it's quite useful or quite common in British, Australian, New Zealand speech, but I don't know, maybe not in the US. Let me know in the comments below. Oh, there we go. We've finished all the favours. In about 20 minutes, now it's time to go hand them all in. Well, I have to say that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. 42 minutes to complete one small favour. I think I actually enjoyed it more doing it as a bit of a speedrun type thing, trying to get it done as fast as I possibly could with some teleports, many of which were not optimal. With my energy potions, which ran out about halfway through, so I was relying on my ring of dueling. I used up a full ring of dueling plus two one dose rings left, one charge rings. With that, we have completed one small favour, which is the final requirement before we can enter our Piscatorius area with Swan Song. We of course need some skills there as well. We don't get any levels from that directly, but if we quickly check out our Swan Song, which is down here, we've got all the quest requirements. Now it's just... Excuse me? I just finished that quest. Did I do it too quick? Maybe it takes a second to update there. So for some reason one small favour is showing as incomplete. Why is one small favour still not complete? What's up with that? Maybe I have to use the lamps first and then it's done? Anyway, we have a genie lamp that we picked up along the way, so we're going to use this first. That's 380 experience for Herblore. We also have the antique lamp, which we can not quite throw on Herblore just yet. We need 50 for that one, so that's our recipe for disaster one. But we can use these from the one small favour quest. We're going to start off there, 10,000 Herblore experience, taking us up to level 40. And then we do another 10,000 on this one here. And we go for another 10,000 to 43. So we aren't able to use this one for a while yet. In any case, we've finished that off, and now we're up to 12, 16 total level. We save this lamp for a little bit later, get some good experience, get a steel keyring, which can be useful later on. Everything else is kind of mediocre, but I think that should show that now Swan Song is at the final stage of completion. There we go, just the magic and the smithing left to go. And now for something completely different, we've gone across to our Port Sarum Seagull so that we can get up to 63 magic, which we'll get in just a moment. This is so that we can boost up to 65, as we can quickly check here if we teleport across to Varrock. 65 is the requirement. Oh no, 66 is for Swan Song, isn't it? We do have to spend 25k changing our Chaos Gauntlets into Goldsmith Gauntlets, which is a bit of a shame. I shouldn't have ever made them into Chaos Gauntlets. That was a bit foolish on my part. But we'll transfer that across, and then we'll have the means to continue on with our clue scroll, which I think is still stage 1 anyway, so fingers crossed for that. After a bit more time spent splashing, I'm now, most of the way through 63. I did also realise that our Wizard Mind Bomb is now giving us a +3 boost as opposed to +2, so 66 was the requirement of our Swan Song, and we're currently at 63 with a +3 boost up to 66, so that means that technically our 66 magic requirement is ticked off. Now it's just time for the 45 smithing, and let this be a lesson to other Iron Men and women here. You may think the Chaos Gauntlets are a good idea at the time. You almost certainly will regret that. I do regret that now, as now I have to pay 25,000 gold to change my gauntlets. It's worth it because the goldsmithing gauntlets are going to be the ones that I basically keep for the remainder. We might switch across to our cooking gauntlets at some point there, but I think we've pretty much already got the max skill requirement that we need for all of our quests. I could be wrong on that one, don't quote me on that. But now that we have our goldsmithing gauntlets, let's go and buy some golds from the shop in the blast furnace, and then we're going to go and smelt that gold, get to, we could get to 43, but I think 45 is probably easier. We do have some mature dwarven stouts, I believe they are, which give us a +2 boost, so worst case scenario we can boost up. Otherwise, the smithing levels will be useful, they will be used later on, so we'll just get that done and then see where we end up. After quite literally getting rid of our entire bank from about 90k after all the alcohols down to 2k, it hurts, but we do have enough gold ore to get all the way up to 45, which, getting the smithing levels now will certainly help out. There's 42 smithing coming in after the second load done. And there's 43 smithing, 44 smithing, and with very little money left in the coffers, there is 45 smithing complete. If I do check our quest requirements here, I believe that is absolutely everything. Of course, with 66 magic being boosted, that's what we're going to go for. We're actually going to quickly take our gold out here before it sucks away all the remainder. There we go. 1k in total. Very, very nice. A few annoying requirements for Swan Song is that we need some mist and lava runes. Well, here we are making our mist runes. Let's hope that we get the 10 that we need. That was actually perfect. If we got 9, that would have been annoying because we would have had to have consumed another talisman. But that's exactly what we need. Now time to do our lava runes. So just for those who are curious, this is actually a 1 in 2 basically, a 50-50 chance of whether it makes a combination room or not when you use the altar here. To attempt that, of course, the 100% if you use Magic Imbue, which is a later level spell. So actually getting 10 out of the 25 inventory space that we got last time was actually quite unlucky. So surely this time we get lucky and get well over 13. I mean, it's the 10 that we need, so I won't complain too much. There we go. That's, I think, all the requirements knocked out. Now we can finally start with the quest itself. Like beautiful synchronized swimmers. Out of sync. Holy screen check, Batman. And with that, we have the completion of the Swan Song quest for 15,000 magic experience, 10,000 prayer experience, which is actually pretty huge as well. I think we should get a level or 2 out of that. 50,000 fishing experience. I had no idea we got that as well. That's actually huge. What on earth? Was that always the case, or has that been increased? 25,000 coins as well, which is actually pretty huge. That pays for our transfer from our Chaos Gauntlets into Goldsmithing Gauntlets. So happy days then. We're now even better. We can continue on with our hard clue scroll. So let's see if we can get that one done now, shall we? So of course we can talk to Arnold now, as that's all we have to do. Just a little quick puzzle and then we continue on. Well, that was one of the fastest puzzles ever. Even if I didn't have the Rune Light plugin, I think I would have been able to finish that in no time at all. Let's see, second part of this clue scroll. Was it worth it? How many steps? We've only completed 1 step so far. And we can do that. That's the Lumberyard, just the northeast of Varrock. So let's keep going. Step 2 completed. Step 3. AIQ, I believe that's possible too. Here we have step 3 completed. Step 4. Speak to the head chef in Cook's Guild west of Varrock. You'll need a chef's hat. Okay, well we can do that one too. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a chef's hat, so to get into our Cook's Guild, okay, we're gonna have to go and kill some goblins back in Lumbridge. Let's just hope for the best. It's a 1 in 42 drop. I'm sure it won't take that long. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Supposed to be 1 in 42. It took us about 93, so more than double the drop rate. That's okay. That will make do. Now let's complete this step and let's see if we do manage to get the casket on this one. That would be fantastic. And another clue scroll, unfortunately. Dig anywhere during BLQ. Okay, I mean, if it's not this one, then the next one should be the guaranteed completion. We just have to hope that we don't get unlucky. So as it turns out, although if we check the configuration here, BLQ, of course this is, I believe, a little bit of information that helps us. Ubusk is where we're supposed to go. What the clue scroll notification doesn't tell us of is the fact that we need to complete Land of the Goblins quest, or at least get partway through it to access this area. What that means is another quest that we have to finish off. I believe we've got all of the requirements for it. This quest is of course called the Land of Goblins. Let me just check this one. L section. What do we have? 48 Herb Lore is the only skill that I'm lacking. Now this is not boostable. And 48 still a wee ways off, so I'm going to have to see if there are maybe some rewards that I could do to get us close to 48. Hope that I can do this. I don't really want to drop the hard clue scroll, especially when we're this far, but also I might be a wee ways off completing this quest, so worst case scenario, the clue just sits in the bank for a little bit until we can complete it. Well, we're looking to be doing our quest, My Arm's Big Adventure, for the trolls. To do so, we need 60% Tybo 1 favor, which we're going to be working towards right now. Of course, if we find our Gout Tuber along the way, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I believe there's also the requirement for a few Karamja Diary rewards. So we'll see how we go. Well, I'll be damned. We got bloody lucky with only 39% done of Tybo 1 favor. There is our Gout Tuber. That's required for a medium Karamja Diary task, I believe. And that's even before we completed our run here. So let's make sure, okay, the left click is eat. That's fantastic. Let's not eat it while we don't need to. We also have a spider carcass, which is actually also used for a different diary reward. So 60% is the favor that we need to reach. That's what we're going to be aiming for. And yeah, I guess 100% might be needed for a diary as well, I'm not too sure. But other than that, we've actually finished everything that we need to do for Taibo One Eye. So this took us no time at all. You can actually see what the time was beforehand. We're now up to 33 minutes, so it's taken us less than half an hour to get to this. We probably need to spend another 15 minutes or so to get the last little 20% favor, and then we can start off with our My Arms Big Adventure quest. That's it. And there we have 60% Taibo favor coming in, which is the final requirement for My Arms Big Adventure. Should be under the M section. Where is M? Let's see. That is everything completed. Taibo One Eye cleanup started, 60% attained. Let's get this quest underway, shall we? We're actually lacking one piece of the puzzle needed for My Arms Big Adventure, that being 8 super composts. We have 0 of them, but we currently have a compost bin, kind of stewing them all together now, making our lovely super compost with a whole bunch of pineapples. So we're waiting on that one. While we wait on that one, why don't we get some levels? There's 41 Hunter coming in. Now Trap Horn Grark's not too bad, but Birdhouse is still running strong, still getting some Bird's Nest on occasion. Nothing super fancy at this early stage of the game, but it's working out and we're getting some progress made anyway. But we will be on to the quest as soon as that compost bin has finished. I'm changing plans so much, I feel like I'm getting whiplash from this. So I was looking at my Vrock medium diary while hanging out there and saw that we can complete most of this. The only real quest requirement that we have is a Soulsbane and Enlightened Journey. We'll do that one a bit later. I think we need some more farming levels, but Soulsbane we can complete in no time at all. Then maybe work towards this to give us some extra experience to get towards Herblore, which then maybe we can start to lamp up to 48, which is kind of the reason why we're doing My Arms Big Adventure anyway. So, this in a roundabout way helps out, so we'll do this. There's something super satisfying about hitting far higher than usual max hit. 28, there's no way we could hit that. 35, and I think we hit a 50, which was a max hit earlier. It's really nice, we won't be hitting those kind of hits for quite some time yet. But I always loved this quest for this very reason. It was fun to do as a low level. Didn't expect to be getting any levels here, but that is 61 strength coming in. And there's the completion of a Soulsbane, but more importantly, as that gave us pretty much no experience whatsoever, we head down here, then we should have a medium task Vrock done. We're currently partway through My Arms Big Adventure, but I've just been informed, thank you, the wiki, if I do say so, the wiki, thank you to the wiki, for informing me of this. But if we end up using our 60% favor now, it drags us all the way back down to 0% favor. We don't want to do that right now. We want to get ourselves up to 100%, which is the requirement for one of our Karamja diary tasks. So we'll go and do that first. We'll get as many as we can, then we'll continue on with the quest. So, a little bit of extra side mission content stuff, but at least we are making progress nonetheless. And with that spider killed, we have 100% Taibo One Eye favor, which should also be a medium task in the Karamja area. There we go. Now we can continue on with our quest. Solid as a rock, sir. And just like that, we managed to get a farming level while my arm was actually picking the goutweed. That's very, very nice. Can't complain about that. And here we have the completion of My Arms Big Adventure for 10,000 Herblore, 5,000 farming experience. Should give us a level or 2. There we go. 2 farming levels. We can now grow cheek trees, which is very nice. We don't have any seeds in the bank, but that could be useful later. And 44 Herblore. Reminder that we're heading to 48 Herblore, which cannot be boosted as our ultimate goal. Very, very close to another level up there, but I think we keep looking, see if there are other quests that we can accomplish to do this, or maybe start tackling some of our diaries. Easy, medium rewards there and getting some experience that way. As our stockpile of herbs is really limited at the moment with the kind of, how should we say, lack of Slayer that we've done so far, we're going to go get our Herblore experience any way we can, starting off with completing the easy Lumbridge and Draenor area diary. Here is our first task completed, and that should be a cave bug for another one. While we're at it, we'll do some medium tasks as well, just make our life a bit easier later on. And a zombie for another task should be completed in just a moment. There we go. And if we bake some bread there, there's another one. Chopping an oak log and burning that oak log counts for another task. Iron ore for one more completion there. I never understood how you're supposed to teeth grip the zipline here. That just makes no goddamn sense to me at all. Plus it looks janky as all hell, but that's why we love it. And again, not really needed for the easy, but there's a medium task completed for our first ever Alcarid rooftop course completion. And by dredging up our anchovies, there is the completion of our easy Lumbridge diary. Let's go and click our reward. And by talking to this dapper looking fellow, we should get Our very nice Explorer's Ring, which we can use for energy and alchemy, which is actually quite useful. But of course, the Antique Lamp, which is the most important part of this, we chuck it onto Herblore. How much do we get? 2500 experience, which actually gives us the level up to 45. And I tell you what, before we do any more diaries, I believe that we've got some fossils to hand in, so why don't we make a start on that? Turns out you can also get 5 fossils, which will give us a bit more experience if we complete the whole campsite here, and that's actually 47 construction coming in. And now that we've built the entirety of the camp, we should be able to talk to this man right here, Peter, panning in the ocean side, and we should get a few fossils for our trouble. There we go. So now let's go clean all of our fossils, and we can make a start on getting some experience from our museum. Well, not as much as I was expecting, but there's 3 displays completed. That's all that we can do for right now. So we have 2 smalls and a medium. Let's see how much experience that gets us. We're currently 45 with 4,500 experience to 46. How much does this first one give us? 2,000. I'm actually okay with that. You know, it's not too bad. Those 2 by itself will almost get us the level, and then finishing it off with this medium lamp, hopefully it ramps up a fair bit, maybe 5k, 3.5. Okay, still not too shabby. 46 Herblore. 2 more levels to go. Some more diary should push us across the way there, I reckon. Let's keep going. Reminic diary montage time. Oh yeah. Trading the stonemason completed. 5 rock crabs killed for another task. Oak logs chopped and burned for another one. Bucket. New boot goofing. Looking pretty sick. Tiara from scratch. And 5 snape grass. And stealing from the bakery store. Should be our final completion there of our task. Let's go and get our reward again. And by speaking to Thoradin, there is our level 1 sea boots and also our antique lamp, which we're going to throw straight on Herblore, bringing us very near 47 Herblore. And now it's time for a little montage for our Kandarin diary. Get a pet fish from Harry and Catherby. Oh, we have to use the tiny net onto here, don't we? Okay. And then there we go, completed 1 fishing experience too. New training method, perhaps? Hey there, Sherlock. That's a pretty big organ. Good to know we can buy the stew here as well. 20 coins for that, another task completed. Jute seeds planted for another. Thank you, Galahad. Lovely cup of tea. And crossing the log balance should be our final easy task completed. There we go, so now we can go speak for our reward, but also I believe if we mine a coal here, then we can also get a medium task done, so why don't we go for that too, and then we'll go back and collect our goodies. And thank you very much, Mr. Wedge, for our antique lamp. Let's use that straight onto our Herblore. Of course, I should be probably talking about all the different rewards that we get for these ones here, you know, as we have a teleport here and, you know, options to use that as well, but 2,500 Herblore experience, that brings up to 47. Now let's go and see if we can maybe get to 48, not with any more diaries, maybe just with our little herbs in the bank there, let's see. And we just managed to scrape by to 48 Herblore. We can now make and clean super Aventos, make super anti-poison potions. Not that useful, but can't really complain. But more importantly, we are now up to the point where Land of the Goblins, we have all the requirements for this. Let's get this one done and continue on with our hard clue. Finally, we get the opportunity to wear our goblin mail. Perfect. It's only been my dream since I very first started Old School Runescape. Or Runescape for that matter, as it was known back in those days. Damn, Zanek's always getting killed and resurrected and sucked away to other places there. I believe that's the end of this quest for right now. Where Zanek is, nobody knows. But we've made it back, and there is our absolute multitude of experience drops there. 8,000 across the board, 2 quest points as well. What does that give us? 62 agility. Very nice. 65 fishing, catch Karam 1. And, oh, I thought we might as well get something else. No, looks like we were 600 off our Herblore level as well. Well, I tell you what though, the good news is that we can now teleport back there and head back to that area, which will then allow us to finish off our clue scroll here, which is BLQ. And would you know it, that is indeed our casket. So it was well worth going for that quest line. At least we got this access, you know, there for us next time in the future. I don't know why that was so hard to phrase, but anyway. What do we get out of our reward casket? Was it all worth it? I mean, yes it was, but do we get some good gold out of this? Maybe some rares? Let's see what we get. Okay, that's a decent amount of purple sweets. Also another ancient blessing, not super useful. That cash is trash, but at least we can alch the rune plate skirt. So all in all, not terrible. We also got 2 collection and log slots there, so no, I'm happy with that. And that now frees up our ability to get more hard clue scrolls going forward. But that's going to round off another episode there. Thank you very much, one and all, for joining in there. I hope you'd enjoyed the episode. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe there, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye for now there, folks.